What's up, guys? A lot of you asked for tutorials to see how I am creating my doodles. You want to see my workflow, you want to see my process, my tips, tricks. Finally, I am able to create one and show it to you how it's done. This is not just a tutorial, this is a follow along tutorial. So grab your mobile device and come along. Before we start and before we go any farther, I wanted to let you guys know I am not a professional animator. So when you look at these things or would look at my instructions or how I do things, it is how I learn and it is how I do things. Probably there is a better way or maybe a quicker way to do some of the things. And if you do know and if you do notice how to do things differently, please let me know in the comments. I would love to learn and improve. Also, if I will miss anything, feel free to ask questions in the comments as well, and I'll get back to you. In the meantime, we're going to be focusing on the mobile devices, and we're going to be using, of course, mobile app to doodle with. I am personally going to be using an iPad and Apple Pencil. These are my primary tools. You do not have to have an iPad. You might have an Android tablet with a stylus. Great. You might have an iPhone or an Android device with a stylus. You do not have to have stylus, but if you do have stylus, it will give you more precise and better controls, especially when you're going to be drawing very thin lines. You can draw with a finger, you can draw with one of those styluses that has a rubber tip. You know what I'm talking about. The application we're going to be using is cross-platformed. It is on the iOS and it's also on the Android. I believe it's actually on the Mac as well. I am not sure. I do know that it's not on the Windows PC at all. They are working on it, but they have not released it yet. So let's get started. First thing I wanted to mention is the application I started with is called Animation Desk. It shows this yellow animation is the Animation Desk. Then I love that application a lot. I actually purchased their Animation Desk Ultimate, which is right here. Basically the same app, but gives you more tools just because you pay money for it. It gives you, I believe, 9 layers and some access to other tools and stuff like that. Then, unfortunately, they introduced a bug to the application and it made it impossible for me to work with. Problem was that the video, when you preview the video, it was not consistently showing you what is on the frame with the video background. And basically, if let's say a ball was bouncing and I drew eyes on the ball, right? You have to understand the ball is on one layer, the eyes are on another layer, and when I previewed it, it showed the ball right here and the eyes right there, and it didn't work right. I reported this issue to the developers and they were very nice and very attentive. We actually had a meeting. I shared with them my experience and some feedback. I believe they're going to come back and then they're going to fix it very soon. But while this application was out of commission for me, it forced me to search for another alternative. And what I found is this application. It's called Flip-a-Clip. So let's go ahead and search for that application right there. Flip-a-Clip. This is the one right here. This is how the icon looks like. Go ahead and search in your app store. Doesn't matter, iOS or Google. You will find the same exact icon, same exact name. Go ahead and download it. We will be using it during this tutorial. Also, on the Android device, I actually have it right here, Flip-a-Clip, right there. I challenged myself to actually do a doodle completely on the phone, and I did have Samsung Android device with a stylus. at some point as well, and I challenged myself to see if I will be able to complete a doodle from the beginning to end with those devices, and I was successful. So when I say it doesn't matter what device you have, you can follow along, it will work. Of course, layout is going to be just teensy-weensy different between the major mobile device, like larger size mobile device like a tablet versus phone, but you will be able to figure out it's very intuitive. You will not be like searching for where things are, and if you do, let me know. Of course, I will address them. But I worked on the iPad and I work on the phone, and I had no problem looking for the tools that I used. Okay, take a look at this doodle. This is done all on the iPhone with the finger by a guy with the username SkateAllDay360. It is another doodler I met on Reddit. He's doing an outstanding job. Check out his page. Okay, so I think this is it. Go ahead and download the application, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.